Hello everyone, thanks for joining for this video, and this is another video in my channel which explains around my smart home project, how I connected my smart home into the intelligent cloud using Azure IoT, and also how I configured the web application and also did some machine learning around it. So this is the second part of the video, and if you haven't seen the first part of the video, I would suggest that you watch the first video where it talks about the Azure IoT integration into the intelligent cloud. And in this video, I'm going to be focusing more on the web application and the machine learning side of things. So I'll quickly give you a background. So this is a pet project, not a customer project or anything. So I would just want to explain my learnings during this journey of this pet project, and also it's a complete solution that's done by combining multiple Azure services. So it's interesting, and it's using modern architectures all throughout. So a bit of a quick rundown of what I have done so far. So I've got all these devices connected to each other. These are the smart home devices. And what I have done is I have connected these devices, done some logic around it. And what I have done is I've got the insights through this device. And then I've connected Azure IoT Hub using a custom application. And I'm streaming every 45 seconds. I'm streaming the data snapshot of what's the state of each of these sensors, and I'm streaming that through Stream Analytics. Information is fed to the Power BI, and then the data is stored in a SQL database for cold analysis side of things. So that's the phase one, and that's explained how that's done, all explained in a different video. So in this video, what I'm going to be focusing is on the web application. So that's what I call the phase two. So I didn't stop from getting my data into there, and I did some Power BI analysis, but I didn't stop from there. I wanted to take it to the next level. So what I did was I saw that data was already there in the SQL database. What I did was I created a web application that also presents some visualizations around the data that's there. And also on top of that, it does some more using machine learning. It does some more stuff on top of that. So also what I wanted to explain is some best practices that I used around or that I used during this web application development and the development lifecycle, how I used and etc. So these were all done using the Microsoft Azure platform. Also, it will showcase some of the capabilities that it provides as for developers or consultants, how to use the modern development architectures and do some really interesting projects out of the services that's provided. So in here, what I want to explain before I move on in the architecture side of things, my web application that I wrote has two environments: staging environment and production environment. Both have authentication configured from Azure Active Directory, so that it's forced for authentication before somebody access the website, and it's restricted access basically. So I have a token cache store. Once the user is getting authenticated, I needed a token cache store to store temporary data in there, and also I've got a key vault which stores all the key credentials that's required for the application in the key vault. So I don't store any keys like security keys and etc. I don't store them in the web.config file. I store them in the key vault provided by Azure. Also, I've got configured App Insights for the production workload, and also for the staging as well, which I haven't listed there. So what I basically try to achieve from the App Insights is observe and monitor the performance of the application, and also find bottlenecks if there's any, and find any clues of optimization around the application, and do the feedback loop for the development when it comes to the DevOps cycle. So that's around the architecture. So all of that that application looks at the data that's collected from that from the previous video that I explained. So a key feature that I used during the development cycle is the CI/CD pipelines configuration for that application. So CI/CD or DevOps cycle is a key game changer these days. So it's what it provides is it's a partnership between development and the operation disciplines. It's merging people between the two teams in a production application development cycle. So if you look at a real world example in a large scale project, you normally have to work with operational people and also development people, and often you find it you develop the application nicely, but when it goes to the production, working with the operations teams is a bit challenging. So this kind of processes, it kind of makes both of the teams to work together to achieve the outcomes from the beginnings, so that it makes it a more collaborative platform, so that you can achieve the business outcomes in a more quality and also in a smoother way in terms of the delivery. So it makes basically shortens the development lifecycle, and it introduces a way to faster way to go to the market. And also it also keeps the constant development involvement of that application as well. So what Microsoft provides for this is the continuous integration and continuous delivery using VSTS, and also we can use Git kind of a source control mechanism to store the source code of the application. So in my example, what I have done is, I'll show it in a demo. I have used Git for source control and all my source code handling kind of things, and I have used VSTS for continuous integration side of things, and also the delivery side of things as well. So I'll quickly show you how that's done. So this is my VSTS configuration. So if I go to the code first, and I'll explain you what I have done. So I have used Git as a source control. I have constantly managed my source control using this, and it has all the tracking enabled in my source control. So as you can see, I've started this last month, writing this application, and I constantly source controlled, checked in the code. I can use create branches and then check in and do the pull request and check in the code that way, and merge it to the master branch while I go to the release cycles. If you look at these files that I'm storing all the web application and the API application on this side. Then once the source code is there, we have the build and release cycle. So I can also manage with the work item. So if I'm working on features that needs to be added to the application, then I can work on the work items, create a work item that I want to work with, and then manage the team. If you have a group of people working on this, you can add that and you can track with the work items, assign that to different people, and do it that way. So it provides this whole VSTS platform provides the full development cycle, or full infrastructure, or full platform in order for you to work with the development team and track the development cycle all throughout. So that's the work item, and then you can do the testing side of things in here. What I'm going to show you mainly is the build and release cycle. So I have got continuous integration configuration, which means once I push in some code into the source control, it will automatically compile and create the artifacts required for the release. And once the artifacts are there in a refreshed way, it will automatically trigger a release to the release pipeline. So what I have done is I've configured Git onto the source control side of things, and I'll show you. This is on the releases side. If you go to the build, I can show you how my CI is configured, and that will include a few configuration items. So if I go edit, then you will see what are the configuration items that's in there. So I've got Nugget package management to be imported, and import the Nugget packages, build the solution, do some testing, and then publish the artifacts to the location that's required. So that's my build pipeline looking like. And if I go to the releases, and my release pipeline is pretty straightforward one. So once the artifacts is received, it triggers a automatic release to the staging. And once I'm happy with the staging, I get an email, I can approve, and then it will go to the production environment. So that's how my release works on the continuous integration and delivery side of things. That's pretty good, and that's all. So that you can plan testing in here as well, and you can do some documentation on the wiki side of things. So that's what VSTS all provides. So going back to the slides again. So that's around the VSTS that I wanted to show you. And next up we have I have configured App Insights, which I want to show you how that's looking like. But before we get to the App Insights, I wanted to show you the site, but I'll explain the benefits of using App Insights on the site. So what I can get, what are the benefits of using App Insights is that you gain inside-out visibility of your application, how it performs, and you can see where, if you have any bottlenecks, you can see where you have the bottlenecks or slow operations and the failures. You can also get some live matrices, who's accessing your application and etc. And big data queries over your telemetry, you can run them. So all the telemetry is stored for like 30 days. You can run them and see whatever the telemetry that you want to get. Also, you can get automatic action triggers. For instance, if you have slow operations, maybe a page gets slower and slower and gets maybe greater than 6 seconds to load, and then you can get a trigger alert, and you can get someone to, or yourself or someone to have a look what's going on over there. That kind of things you get from App Insights, and very comprehensive stuff I'll show you. So let's go to the website and have a look first. So this is the website that I mentioned, talked about. So this website, if you go to about the project, it will authenticate. As you can see, it got just redirected from Azure Active Directory, and you will see that this is all about the project and what it is. And I've got authenticated myself from Azure Active Directory. If I go to my profile, I can see all my details that are issued by Azure Active Directory after authenticating. So if I go back to the project, and that's the home page, and if I go to the dashboard, what it does is this application basically looks at that database and gets a quick snapshot. So if you can see that the time right now is 3:12, and I've actually got the time right now on the clock is 3:12. So I've got within 1 minute of data that's currently there. So it's basically near real-time data that you see here. And I can see in the office room, you got some motion because I'm sitting there, and also I've got this much of power consumption driving through that power plug right now. And also similar to that, you got no motion in any other ones, but temperatures all listed in here, and humidity, as so do the light as well. So you can see there's no light in the garage because it's currently dark in the garage as well. Yeah, that's pretty good stuff. And yeah, so that's a snapshot of the whole house. But also you can see it's somebody's at home. That's what this table says. And if you go to rooms, you can see each in every room in real time as well. So let's have a look at how the office room look like. So from 10 a.m. onwards, I've been here and I've been out for some time, and that's why this video shows, or this graph looks like this. And you can see this is all office room details for the last day, and it's pretty good detail. So this is the motion that I see. So from 10 a.m. till now, I've got some motion happening in the office room, and this is how the temperature varied and etc. So some pretty good stuff. So the light, this is how the light went in. I opened the curtains and it has gone that way, and also the humidity, this is how it has behaved throughout the day. So I can do the same. So the kitchen behavior will be like that too. So some motion happening in the kitchen, and also that kind of thing. So this is how much I have opened the pantry door. I have left the pantry door open sometime, and etc. So that's some cool information and patterns that you can observe when you look at it this way. So let's see if there's any motion in the garage. I shouldn't expect much from the garage today. So yeah, I don't see any motion at all from the garage today. So that's all the information. So it's the same data, but this application using some JavaScript to give you some fancy looking graphs of the same data present into the web app. So that's about that, the web page, and I want to show you how the App Insights looking like. So this is the resource group that holds all the objects or the resources around that web application. So we've got I've got the web application, web insights, and the key vault, and all the databases required for that. So I'll actually go into the into my app insights in the production environment, and I'll show you how the app insights looking, and I'll walk you through the features of the app insights. So I've got no alerts at the moment. I've got one server streaming, and also during the past few hours, this is how my workload, the workload or the user base, the requests for the application, that's how they're looking like. And so you got like one user accessed at this moment, and the availability, I have got availability test happening all throughout, and that's 100% and etc. So if I click on the live stream, you will see it will start connecting the live stream into the application. And if I do some hits of the web on the website, you will see some hits happening. So if I go access the office room, you will see some live streaming of the analytics of, like, you can get a live view of who's accessing the data and etc. So that's about the live that's about the live view of the app insights. And let's have a look at some other features around the app insights. So let's quickly go to that resource group again. So that will be the web app resource group and the app insights, and we will have a look at the application dependencies now on. So application dependency maps all the application that App Insights find out around the application. So this is what App Insights find out. So I have the web application, and I have availability test happening every maybe 5 seconds, or every 30 seconds. There's a ping happening on the website to check the availability, and if the availability is down, then I get an alert. Also, I've got some clients, which is obviously me talking to the application in here. So we also have, the application has a dependency on the SQL database, and the databases are these two databases. One is the web app data, and the other one must be the token cache database. So also it has some HTTP outbound connections, one for authentication, and the other same as the authentication. So login and the graph, they are the authentication endpoints. And the other outbound is the App Insights. That's in the US Central. The workspace is in the US Central. So that's basically what the dependencies for the application looks like, which is pretty good. So all done for you once this is configured. Let's go back again and see what more you can get from the App Insights side of things. So we have also got smart detection, which uses machine learning to observe any patterns that are unexpected in an application. So it will observe how the web application behaves for a while, and then it will see if there's any abnormal activities that the application notice. Then it will send you an alert saying that there's something going wrong, better have a look, kind of thing. So as you can see here, we have a few time-consuming tasks listed in here. I want to see what took 3 to 7 seconds and why it took that much. So as you can see here, this would have been the first time it queried the database, so there's no caching, and office room results took like 3.5 seconds for the response time. So that's I'm aware of it at the moment, and you can see that is a bottleneck. And in the next release of the website, I can take a look at and see how can I improve that response time and etc. So I can probably introduce some caching method in front of it for it to improve. That kind of way you can analyze what are your performance bottleneck in an application, and then continuously work towards optimizing your application with App Insights. So that's pretty much what I want to show you using App Insights, and showed you everything. You can see the user base. I don't have much data currently, and etc. So let's go back to the slides, and let's go to the next one. So that's App Insights for you. And so did the demo of App Insights, and what's next coming up is the machine learning side of things. So I had 1 year worth of data collected because I started this project. The phase 1 was done a year ago, and I had 1 year worth of data already collected. So I was sitting, one day I was sitting down and thinking, what can I do with this data? I have 1 year worth of data, and can I do anything? Can I do like machine learning out of this model? And I was looking around machine learning, and then I found out that's the best use case for the data I have. So I should play around with this, and then I started learning machine learning a bit, and then I found out that I can achieve this piece. So what I'm trying to do here is I want to predict the availability of someone at home in a given time for a future. Can I do that with the data that I currently have? So my approach is now to train a machine learning model so that I can give a time for a future, and then I want a response saying whether I'll be at home or someone not be at home, kind of thing. So I got the Vera data all imported to a data set, and I did a Python script to do some manipulation around it. For the given date, what's the weekday, what's the time, and what's it like on the motion sensors, and etc. All get all those data extracted in a way that machine learning can understand, do all the type conversions and etc., and then edit some metadata around it, select the columns that is interested in to me, and also then I wanted to select the columns and then split the data, get a 2-class logistic regression model, train the model, and then do the scoring mechanism afterwards. So at the end you do an evaluation model. So that's how you normally do. You do split the data, and you do the training model and the scoring model afterwards. So I've created a web service based out of this machine learning module, and I've managed to get that working. So that's the interesting part. Let's go and have a look what are the results of my smart home or intelligent home with some prediction capabilities built into that. So this predict and availability section is the one that I wanted to show you from the machine learning side. So this is the current day. Today is the 22nd of April, and I want to see how is it like for next Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Will there be someone at home? I usually go to work during daytime, but it actually took it that I'll be at home at 3:30 p.m. which doesn't have a much confidence level. So I'll give it another date. So I'll give it maybe 11 a.m. on a different date. I'll give it on a Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Will somebody be at home? No, nobody will be at home, and the probability of happening that is 0.42, and which is close to the margin as well. Let's quick do another one. So what if I say like, okay, maybe there's nobody going to be at home on Thursday, and what if I come around maybe 9:30 p.m. That's at night, and usually there is somebody at home, and let's see if the machine learning module, so it says that somebody will be at home at night, and it has a confidence level of 0.81, which is good. So that kind of machine, so the trained model knows that what time somebody is going to be at home, what time like they'll be seeing some motion happening in the house, kind of thing. So which is pretty good, and it will see that data all happening. So that's machine learning in action for you. And let's go back to the slides and get this completed. So machine learning's done. So this is the final complete solution you're looking at. So we got all the sensors reporting to the databases and stream analytics using Azure IoT, and all the data stored in the database, and also stream analytics to do real time and cold data movements. So all the data is stored in the database, and we've got some front end using Power BI, and also we've got some website happening, doing some interesting stuff. Key Vault for security side of things, database for token, Azure Active Directory for authentication, and App Insights for continuous development. Using App Insights initiates the continuous development by looking and optimizing side of things, Also, VSTS is there at the back end, doing the DevOps side of things, continuous integration and continuous delivery side of things. So we also have the machine learning model and the machine learning experiments side of things, and that's all in a different resource group. So that's how you can combine several Azure services that's provided by the platform and combine all together to develop a really interesting creative solution. So similar examples. So this same model can be used to transform businesses. So we have whole about like predictive maintenance, asset management, remote monitoring, and etc. So Rockwell Automation is an example, monitoring expensive capital assets. So they have from refineries to the pumping stations, all predictive maintenance and remote monitoring happening for all of the assets. So that has improved efficiency, drive better performance, enable innovative. So also RAC in US, they have also worked on connected vehicles, vehicle problem diagnosed remotely, and also predictive maintenance for their customers. Also, there's been some scenarios where if their customers are broken in a remote area, then they still can find them out, rather than saying that I'm next to this tree and etc. They can easily find out where they are located, where they're broken, and why the vehicle is broken, so that they can get the necessary stuff to fix that. And one of their technicians will be on their way with all the details that's required to fix that vehicle. So key takeaways. So as you saw, that's the same model, and you can do at a different scale for any production loads. And yeah, all of these are done by Azure services, and Azure services are like building blocks. So as kids, we need to learn how to hook them together and create some innovative solutions. So yeah, what I suggest is like find a pet project like me at your own interest, and then do some learning, and then you can master these services quickly. So a lot of potentials for as a developers, for you guys to be creative. There's a lot of potential these days, because like 5 years back we couldn't do any of these systems or these kind of solutions very easily, and as a single person to do for me to do this kind of a solution, I'm really lucky to be here today as well, if we think it that side. That's pretty much it what I have. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you like, please hit like and then do a subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.